I got myself removed from my parents' house by CPS, and now they're begging me to come back. I'm 16, and last year I was living in this nightmare situation with my family. My parents adopted my 2 younger siblings when I was 7, and they're both autistic. My brother Jake is 9, and my sister Lily is 7, and they both have these severe sleep issues that make them scream for hours every single night. It started when they were toddlers, but by the time I was in high school, I was basically a zombie. Lily has this high-pitched scream that goes right through your skull, and she can keep it going for 3 or 4 hours straight. Jake's is deeper, but just as loud, and they'd set each other off constantly. I'd be trying to sleep at midnight, and suddenly the screaming would start. My bedroom was right next to theirs, and the walls in our house are paper thin. I'd put pillows over my head, wear earplugs, nothing worked. I was getting maybe 2 hours of sleep a night on a good night. My grades were falling apart because I'd fall asleep in class or show up late because I couldn't wake up in the morning. Teachers kept asking what was wrong with me, and kids at school started making fun of how tired I looked. Someone called me a zombie, and honestly, that's exactly how I felt. The worst part was trying to do homework. My parents insisted I come straight home after school, no staying for study hall or going to the library. But the second I'd sit down to work, the screaming would start. Jake would grab my papers and rip them up during his meltdowns, and Lily would throw things at me when she got overstimulated. I tried talking to my parents about it, but they'd always say the same thing, that I needed to be more understanding because my siblings couldn't help it. They'd remind me that Jake and Lily were adopted and needed extra support, like I was being mean to them just because we weren't blood related, but it had nothing to do with that. If they were my biological siblings, I still wouldn't be able to live like this. Everything changed when our neighbor Mrs. Patterson finally had enough. She'd been getting woken up every night too, and one morning she called CPS on us. She told them about the constant screaming and how it was affecting the whole neighborhood. When the CPS worker came to our house, I was honest with her. I showed her my report cards and how my grades had dropped from A's to D's. I explained about the no sleep and the homework situation. I looked terrible at that point, dark circles under my eyes, losing weight because I was too tired to eat properly. The CPS worker took one look at me and said I couldn't stay in that environment. She said it was affecting my health and my future, and that my parents weren't addressing the issue properly. My parents were furious when they told them I'd be staying with my grandparents temporarily. But here's the thing, I wanted to be removed. I was so relieved when they said I could go live with my grandparents. For the first time in years, I slept through the night. My grades went back up to A's within 2 months. I stopped looking like a walking corpse. My grandparents had to get me therapy, because even after I moved out, I'd wake up hearing phantoms screaming in my head. The therapist said I had trauma from years of sleep deprivation and stress. 6 months later, my parents called, asking when I was planning to move back home. I told them never. Nothing had changed with my siblings. They were still screaming every night, still having the same problems. My parents got mad and said if I wasn't coming home, I should at least visit more and help them deal with Jake and Lily. But I can't go back there, even for a few hours. The second I hear that screaming, I have panic attacks. I'm finally happy and healthy living with my grandparents, and I'm not giving that up. My parents think I'm selfish, but I refuse to sacrifice my life for a situation they won't fix.